feel that God can be trusted? A little closer to home. Do you trust Him? How much? What is trust? Webster's defines trust as firm belief. Everybody say firm belief, not just a little belief. Firm belief or confidence in the honesty. Believe God's honest. The integrity, the reliability. Think you can depend on Him. And the justice of another person. Faith, reliance, confident expectation, anticipation or hope. So trust is a wonderful combination of faith and hope. Two wonderful motivators in our walk with God. Now abideth faith, hope, and charity. These are two of the three wonderful motivators in our walk with God. Faith and hope. But trust is not just a mild dose of faith and hope. Not just a mild K7. But by very definition, it is firm belief. It is confident hope. Trust is faith at its very best. Trust is hope to the nth degree. You think that God can be trusted to that extent? I say, do you think that God can be trusted to the nth degree? Somebody help me today. Do you feel that God can be trusted to the nth degree? Do you think He's worthy of our faith at its very best? A few years ago, someone emailed me some interesting information, and I taught on it at the time. I'd like to just mention it again here briefly this morning as a foundation for this message on trust. But the email came with the title, The Center of the Bible. And it read, did you know that Psalm 118 is the middle chapter of the Bible? Did you know that Psalm 117, just before Psalm 118, is the shortest chapter in the Bible, just 2 verses long? Did you know then that Psalm 119, just after Psalm 118, is the longest chapter in the Bible, with 176 verses? Did you know that the Bible has 594 chapters before Psalm 118, and that it has 594 chapters after Psalm 118? Did you know if you add up all the chapters in the Bible except Psalm 118, that you get a total of 1188, 1188, 594 plus 594. Did you know that 1188 or Psalm 118 and verse 8 is the middle verse of the entire Bible? And went on to read, should the central verse of the Bible not have a fairly important message? And what does that verse say? Psalm 118 verse 8 says, it is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man. Center verse of the entire Bible. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man. And the email concluded with these words, is this central verse not also the central theme of the entire Bible? And I thought about it at the time and came to the conclusion that this middle verse really is pretty much the central theme of the entire Bible. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man. And although we know, of course, that the original manuscripts of the Bible were not divided into chapters and verses, this was done later by man for our convenience, but yet it's hard to believe that God did not have something to do with placing the very middle verse of the Bible, right in the very middle chapter of the Bible, right between the shortest and the longest chapters in the Bible. The Lord, in what with time would become the very center of the book, inspired the writer to pen these words: "Trust me, this entire book is true." You can trust the 594 chapters that come before this chapter, and you can trust the 594 chapters that come after this chapter. You can trust the thousands of verses that come before this verse, and you can trust the exact same number of verses that come after this verse. I have inspired these words. Amen. I have inspired them to guide you. I have given them to you to serve as a beacon of light in the midst of a dark world. So put your trust in me, not even in your own conclusion, certainly not in the opinions of man, but trust in me. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man. Right in the middle of my Bible. I want to ask you this morning, is there anyone that you can trust more than God? Is there anyone more concerned about you than He is? Is there anyone that will give you better advice than He does? Is there anyone that can give you better counsel than He? Perhaps God has allowed this particular verse to be right in the center of this book that we love, to remind us of where He desires to be in our lives, right smack dab in the middle of our lives. Not out on the outskirts here, not out on the fringes, but right in the middle of our lives. When God gave Moses the tabernacle plan, He instructed Moses as to where He wanted that tent that was to house His presence to be located. He said, put it right in the middle of the encampment. Put 3 tribes on this side, 3 tribes on that side, 3 tribes on this side, 3 tribes on this side back here. He said, I want it right in the middle of the encampment. I want to be right in the middle. God didn't want His dwelling place among His people to be out on the edge of town somewhere. He wanted to be their town square. He wanted to be the center of their lives. Amen. Is that your desire? Is Jesus the center of your life? The songwriter wrote about it. Jesus, you're the center of my life. I hope so. He's worthy of that position. Come on, clap your hands. He doesn't want just a token acknowledgement, just our little religious ceremonies. No, God wants to be right smack dab in the middle of our lives. So to help bring this message home, He lifted His voice with these words, right smack dab in the middle of your Bible. Trust me. Don't just talk about it, really do it. Just trust me. Don't doubt me. Don't put your trust in anyone or anything else contrary to my word. What I'm telling you is right. It's what's best for you. I made you. It is better to put your trust in the Lord than to put your confidence in man. I don't care if it's your best friend. I don't care if it's your husband or wife. I don't care if it's your son or daughter. I don't care if it's your father or mother. It's better to put your trust in God than in the opinions of man. He won't guide you wrong. He won't steer you wrong. Psalm 1 and verse 1, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in His law doth he meditate day and night. He gets his counsel from the book. He gets his guidance from the book. He shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that brings forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper, because he doesn't go by the counsel of the ungodly,